Let's talk about stress, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about stress. Let's talk about stress. He's insisting on coming up. We're talking about stress today. Let me just put him down. All right, baby. Come on. Let's go. Okay. Let's get at it. Stress. I want to talk to you about stress because over and over again we hear about how horrible stress is. It is not good for your health. It is not good for your mental health, your physical health, your blood pressure. It's not fun. It's not a fun experience. But I want to talk to you about the advantages of stress and how you can make it win for you. How can you make it work? All right. So I wrote down a couple notes because I wanted to touch upon all these with you, and my mind is good, but I can't remember everything. So, stress, that feeling that you get, the jitteriness, the knot in your stomach, that fight or flight thing, but there's certain situations that you have to fight and you can't fight because it's up to you to fix it. I'm not talking about the catastrophic stress where safety is an issue or survival or safety is an issue. I'm talking about the day-to-day stress of life, of adulting, and things that are figure-outable, even though they don't seem like they are at the time. Now, I'm going to tell you why stress is a good thing. Stress is a good thing because it creates out-of-the-box thinking. It makes you start to come up with ideas and solutions to a stressful situation. Now, when I talk to you guys, I'm coming from a learn, do, share place in my life. So I share these things because I've experienced them, I've learned about them, so I'm not just going to tell you anything just because it sounds good. Learn, do, share. So this is the sharing part of some of the learning for me. Out of the box thinking, you start to solution, your mind starts to work for you to help you figure out the problem. That's one of the great things about stress. Because when you're not in that situation, your mind is not in solution mode. I don't know who had the saying that, you can't solve a problem with the same thought process that you use to create it. So when you're dealing with stress and it's evoked that emotion in you, you start to think outside the box. It turns your shoulds into your must. Your shoulds into your must. So what I mean by that is, many times of my life, and maybe you can relate and you can please feel free to share, we have sat back on a situation and said, okay, I really should save money. I really should lose weight. I really should go on a diet. I really should go walking, right? So that's what you should do. Well, in a stressful situation, 9 times out of 10, you were solutioning a problem. You hit a financial roadblock. Something comes up. Oh, I know. Like for us, we get a tax bill that our taxes are going to be $5,000 more a year. Yeah, that was stressful. But what I did is I talked about it with my husband. I talked about it with my adult friend, because anybody who has to pay property taxes understands. Anybody who pays bills in adulting understands what it feels like to get into a situation where you can't fix it at the moment, but you realize it's something that you did not plan for. So then you start to talk. So the other good thing about stress is that it causes you to connect with other people. And when you connect with other people, you get ideas and different perspectives. And maybe you help them in their particular situation when it comes up, and you give them ideas as to what they're going to deal with if they have to face the same problem. So you get to connect with other people. If it's people in cyberspace, you can go on Reddit. You can go on YouTube and connect. You can speak to someone in groups, like I am in a lot of personal finance groups, which is one of my passions. I can talk to other people and connect with other people who have been in some similar situations, and they can share ideas. It's amazing. And even if they don't give a perspective or give you an idea of how to solution your problem, you're still in that thought process, and sometimes the answer comes to you just because you're vocalizing it. What else did I write down? Yeah, you should. It turns your shoulds into your must. You must, like I said, tax bill. Well, now you must change your budget, or you must save, or must work harder to make up for that big expense that's going to come, even though it was unplanned. My dog is being a pain. I'm sure you hear him. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Your car breaks down. Your roof leaks. Your furnace goes. Any type of unexpected expenses. Like I said, the taxes. You're dealing with something that you did not plan for. And it's not from lack of caring or being irresponsible. It is just that the average person doesn't think of the worst case scenario all the time when it comes to stress and preparing. Getting an additional $5,000 on your tax bill is stressful. I know. I'm living it. However, I talked about it and I have a solution. I may not love the solution. It may, take a little grit, but it's figure outable. So now I can use that thinking towards something else. Let's see. The hot stove syndrome. Okay. When you were a kid, and if you have kids, there is a time in life where everybody tells a small kid, do not touch the hot stove. Don't touch the hot stove. The reason why you tell them not to touch the hot stove is because it's going to burn. It's going to hurt. Well, we have a proverbial hot stove where you go and you do something that you maybe should have done or you shouldn't have done, which has created your hot stove. Once you experience the burn, there's a good chance that you don't do it again. How do you win? The reason why I'm sharing this with you is that everything is figure outable. There's a solution to every problem, and it may not always be easy. But when you're faced with stress, you don't have to cower to it. Again, I'm not talking about survival stress. I'm talking about day-to-day life situations. You don't have to cower to it. It doesn't have to take you down. It can be in your best interest. It can make you stronger because now you may change the way you do things. We had a situation in 2018 where I had a plate and 9 screws in my ankle, and all of a sudden, right before, I think it was around Christmas time, the week before Christmas, the heat was gone. Our house was freezing. We were faced with a $7,000 expense that was unexpected. It was a horrible experience because I'm a go-getter. I'm a solutioner. I want to get up and figure out how to do things. Well, I couldn't get up. But my husband and myself, we worked hard to figure out a way to be able to get this handled so that our kids were not sitting in the cold. And that we weren't sitting in the cold because I don't like cold. Anyway, we went through it. Of course, we got the situation handled and we had our furnace replaced. Our furnace was 6 years old, so it was completely unexpected. It wasn't like, oh, we had this old furnace and it goes out and then we have to, we're expecting that it's going to be a problem. Had that happened, we would have been able to prepare, even though we would have said we should prepare and put money to the side for the possibility of when this furnace goes. That wasn't the case. It was working and then it wasn't. That situation wasn't on our fault. It wasn't our fault that created the situation, but it still happened. There was no one to blame. There was no one to be angry. Well, there was someone to be angry at, the contractor who put the wrong type of furnace in our attic. But there's no winning in that situation. It was rough. It was upsetting. It was stressful because now we have people depending on us. It wasn't just about us being in the cold. Fast forward and figure out the issue. That particular situation changed the trajectory of how I looked at personal finance, how I looked at money, how I budgeted. Now, like you've heard me mention in other videos, and I will continue to mention, if you go back, I have an envelope. We have an envelope for home, for when our roof leaked. We had the money to get the roof fixed. That was probably built on $5 a week. It wasn't big amounts of money going there. But because of that stress, that feeling of helplessness and hopelessness in that situation, we learned so much from it. It made us better. Our stress was advantageous versus defeating. We will never ever forget that experience. Never forget that experience. We have a car maintenance envelope. My husband expected to spend $400 to get brakes replaced. Well, it turned out to be $870. But because we know that things go wrong with cars, we had an envelope that we saved. We had a fund set up for the car that as we saved, it covered that. So it was no longer a tragedy. It wasn't traumatic the way it could have been years ago. But that all stemmed from that stressful situation with the furnace. It was huge, but it was advantageous. I talked to you guys about the $5,000 tax bill. Yeah, still not loving that idea. Not loving it at all. That increases our monthly payment over mid 400s a month. That's not fun with the price of eggs. It's never fun. It changes how we have to do things, how we handle our situations and where we have to shift and adjust. But I know in advance that that's going to happen by the end of the year or September. I'm aware of that, so I can deal with that. But what does it do for me? What does that do? That stress made me think of a way to figure out, to solution the problem and prepare for the eventuality that something like this may happen again. Because property taxes don't seem to go backwards. They don't ever seem to go down. Ever seem to go down. That's why I'm sharing this with you. So, when you are faced with a stressful situation, take a few minutes and try to see from a different perspective. Try to see from a different perspective. Ask yourself this. This is a question I always ask myself. And if people knew the stuff that I ask myself, they would think I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Ask yourself, how do I win? If you pull out an education out of that, that helps you grow or be better or evolve, then that's awesome. Then it's not for nothing. Don't make bad situations or tough situations be for nothing. Look at it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to evolve. If you are new to my channel, my name is Shonya. I am fairly new to YouTube. I'm loving it because I love to talk and no one interrupts me because then I can just keep talking. I am a certified life coach, a financial behavior strategist, a mom of 3 amazing women, and a crazy little dog, happily married woman, 9 to 5 working human being that just loves to connect with other people and help you get through some of the things that I have faced and go through in my life. I try to do the learn, do, share process. Sometimes I go to the school of hard knocks and just try to help you from not being there. I will definitely share it. If you are not new here and you have been watching my videos and supporting my channel, I greatly appreciate it. Oh my gosh, I have gotten such overwhelming love, support, and kindness that I can't even imagine. I'm sure that it will definitely make it so much better when the haters show up, because they always do. The negative Nellies, you know, the Debbie Downers. They will come, and I'm sure of it. But I just want to thank everybody who's been watching my channel so far, and I hope this brings you some value. And next time you're in a stressful situation that can be because of something you did or didn't do, or life happened, your roof leaked, let it be something that empowers you and not beats you up. I hope you like and subscribe. I hope you share this with your friends. Thanks for being here. Have an amazing day. Talk to you soon. Bye.